Hello, Dr. Magdeswari, and today my group, which is group 6, consists of me, Amir, Ahmad Irfan, Sumita, and Shira, will present our lesson plan. Okay, so if you look right here, the time that we choose is pre-class, during class, and also post-class. The pre-class is the before when class happen, and during and post-class is when we teach in the classroom. Okay, so the chapter that we going to teach is chapter 6, acid, base, and salt. And the subtopic, which is the learning standard, is also from the SKP, the role of water in showing acidic and alkaline properties. Okay, so this at the bottom, 6.1.1, 0.2, and also 0.3 is also from the SKP. Okay. So here are some of the teaching aids that we will use, which is WebEx, Quizzes, Google Jamboard, Google Slides, and also WhatsApp. So our prior knowledge is that, the students' prior knowledge that teachers need to know is students have learned the concept of acid and alkalis in Form 2. Okay, so reference that we use, we have a lot of reference, but we will insert it later. The SKP and also the KSSM Chemistry Textbook Form 4. Alright, so the first one is the engagement. We use 5E model. So engagement, just about 5 minutes. The content is teacher shows daily use items like lemon, orange, toothpaste, and soap to the student. This is the pre-class. Maybe we're going to show them in the WhatsApp group, or before we're going to go to the next activity. Okay, so what teacher will do is teacher will show the items and ask the students based on the observation in characteristic, physical, and chemical properties. So the questions are in the mapping tool. Okay. So the student activity is that we have the expected answers also in the mapping tool. And right here, we put right here the lemon and orange taste sour and acidic. Toothpaste and soaps are basic. The toothpaste can neutralize acid on teeth. So what is the purpose of this engagement activity is that we have to attract student interest and relate to the knowledge from their experience in daily life.
So for the explanation part, we will do student presentation. And first, the teacher will assign student into the group, and teacher will send the group formation in PDF form in the WhatsApp group. So this all pre-class situation. And during the class, the teacher will listen to the explanation and jot down the misconception of student when explaining, which is during class, student will present their slide presentation to their friends. And while the friends are presenting, student will listen and jot down notes when others are present. And randomly, the teacher will pick names and ask to repeat what they have learned or what they have understand from their friend's presentation. So if there's any mistake done by the group, teacher will comment on the every group to correct the mistake. This is all during class. So the purpose is to know student level of preparation and understanding, and to detect any misconception about the topic assigned. And for the teaching aids is we use Google Slide. Course curricular element is information communication technology ICT, and the science process skill using here was describing and communicating.
For exploration, we plan to do experiment. Okay, our teacher will briefly explain about the experiment of the roles of water in showing acidic and alkaline properties. The material used is lemon soap, apparatus, test tube, litmus paper, and glove. Teacher will explain the instruction of conducting the experiment by presenting a video of the experiment done by herself. Teacher will ask students the experiment outcomes and what they get, like manipulated variables, responding variable, and fixed variable, and also the observation. Student will do hands-on experiment if it's face-to-face. If not, they will watch a video shown by the teacher, and required to take note all the experiment materials and observation, and need to record it in a table form. Students are required to make a discussion to make a conclusion as well. So students should be able to answer the manipulated variable, which is the presence of water, and change of litmus paper color, which is the respondable variable, and type of acid and alkaline is the fixed variable. So in this part, the purpose is to make the students to make a connection with the theory and practical, and also to make an understanding of what they are studying. And for teaching aid, we'll be using video, and the cross curricular element is ICT, and science process skill is experimenting and communication.
Alright, for elaboration part, the allocated time is 15 minutes. The content is student answer questions individually given by the teacher via class point. So the purpose of this content is to assess students' level of understanding and detect any misconception or alternative conception. And in this phase, which is elaboration, we're highlighting the science process skill, which is evaluating, and we're using class point as teaching aids. So for teaching activity, teacher will give a link for class point where there will be matching activity or fill in the blank activity for the student. And then for the student activity, for this teacher activity, students give answer to the question and students take note of their understanding by listening to their teacher. And then once the activity is over, teacher will recap students' knowledge or corrects the student misconception if they have one. So for in this level, for the performance expectation, students are able to answer the question about acid and alkaline if they focus on the explanation part. So for this elaboration part, it is closely related with the explanation part, as if students are successfully learn during the explanation part, then they should really enjoy for this elaboration part. And then here's the question: acid is a chemical substance that blank spaces to produce blank spaces. Should be the answer is ionized in water and hydrogen ions. And then we also will ask, give example of monoprotic acid, diprotic acid, and triprotic acid, which is monoprotic acid is HCl, diprotic acid is H2SO4, sulfuric acid, and then for the triprotic acid is H3PO4. And then another question, give examples of use of acid and alkali in our daily life. We will giving hint such as brushing teeth. Maybe we as teacher will mention like these, brushing teeth, or maybe making food and agriculture. So the expected answer is toothpaste to natural acid on teeth, which is alkali, vinegar to make pickle food, which is acidic, and then sulfuric acid is used to manufacture fertilizers to alter the soil pH when used. And the last question is, why does alkali only show basicity properties when dissolved in water? So the expected answer is, an alkali is a chemical compound that dissolves in water and produces freely moving hydroxide ions like OH-. So basically that's for the elaboration part. Next, for the evaluation part, the allocated time is 5 minutes. Okay, we will give quiz. Only 6 questions. We will conduct it during the class, but at the end of the lesson. So for teacher activity, teacher will instruct the student to log into booklet or booklet apps and enter the game pin. So usually we're using Kahoot, but for this quiz part, we choose to use booklet, okay, as a new apps instead of Kahoot or quizzes. And then student will follow the instruction and answer all the questions in the booklet. Then teacher will briefly discuss the answer from the questions in the booklet. Then we expect student to discuss the answer of the booklet quiz with us, right? So in this evaluation part, we highlight the cross-curricular elements, which is language and ICT, because we're using a lot of ICT medium. And then the teaching aid is, it should be a booklet, Google Jamboard, and chemistry form 4 textbook. Then we will have a traffic light reflection, which is after the lesson. This is one of the element of pembelajaran abad ke-21. We will instruct the student to do a reflection of the lesson using traffic light color in Google Jamboard. Let's say they can understand well about the lesson. They can use the green sticky notes. Let's say if student have maybe slightly misunderstand about the lesson, they can use the yellow sticky notes. And if they still have difficulty to understand about the lesson, or maybe they cannot understand the lesson, they can use the red sticky note. So we teacher can detect whether student can understand well about the lesson or not. So student will write the reflection of the lesson in Google Jamboard as instructed by the teacher. So we will give this task duration of 1 day, and students may complete this task after the lesson. Then the last one, we will give homework, which is as a post-class activity. Teacher gives homework based on the textbook page 142, which is under Test Yourself 6.1, question 1, 2, and 3. And we expect students to complete the homework given by us.